Hello, loser, and welcome back to the podcast. I'm Evil May, and I hate you. I'm just kidding. That was the meanest possible way to start the. Hi, hello. I promise it's nice, May. I was in disguise. It was because
we have two Mays here.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Listen.
The other May's been escorted out.
Yeah. She's gone. So, hello and welcome to Your Take is Excrement, my lovely, beautiful baby. I feel like I need to butter you up because I called you such mean things earlier. And yes, welcome to the podcast. Today, we are joined by
Neo, or on Twitter at Angstrom. If you want to find May on Twitter, it's at NextFears. And we have a podcast Twitter now.
Oh shit!
Your Take is X.
At Your Take is X.
At Your Take is X.
Okay, don't fuck up the your
listen, I trust
spelling,
I trust
Y-O-U-R.
our users to have proper grammar.
I'd like to think that they do. I'd like to think that smart people watch or listen. See, I'm not so. So, all right. Well, what has happened since last time, right? Like, what are things that we need to even bring up? I guess. Also, I guess Neo introduced me, but I'm May. I'm from the internet, and you might know me from the internet. And welcome to Your Take is Excrement.
That's the third time you've said I'm May in the minute and 40 seconds.
I want the people to know. So the bit on this podcast today is that we are sort of an odd couple situation. Neo is, from Kenya, where he learned about God and Jesus Christ, and
the Holy Spirit.
So all three really of the polytheism, and
the monopolytheism.
and I, on the other hand, am a
listen. Trinitarians, don't at me, please.
I'm a dirty, dusty Texan from the Hellmouth who grew up on VHS tapes of dirty shit. So the bit of this podcast, Your Take is Excrement. If you are a new listener, raise your hand if you're a new listener out there.
Couple hands?
Yeah, a couple in there. Well, thank God. I like to see new people. You know what? I like to see new people on my. So anyway. I'm going to be showing Neo some classic horror, some crazy horror, some wild stuff, and be like, hey, young catboy, tell me all about your spicy takes. And
they have been spicy.
So far. And at the end of this, we are going to be putting it into one of two piles. The pile of excrement, like, this is my shit, or like, not. It's not the best gimmick, okay? I haven't thought it through.
After a movie we watched recently, and we'll be doing an episode on, I'm not going to name the movie, but I am going to say, after watching this movie, which shit pile it goes into, I don't like that gimmick as much as I did. It was ruined to me by...
Are you making jokes about Sallow or 120 Days of Sodom?
I literally said I wasn't going to say the name of the movie.
Well, yeah, you said that, but I didn't say that. I said I could say it.
So, in the future, we're going to be doing a Sallow episode. You Italian fucks. Like, why do they make such movies that get me? Oh my God.
Such movies that get me.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we've done an Italian film. We did Cannibal Holocaust, and I've just been torturing Neo with these Italian movies. But today, luckily today, what a beautiful day. We're going to be talking about something a little bit nicer, a little bit neater, perhaps equally fucked up. Who knows?
Much better to look at.
A little bit better to look at than Cannibal Holocaust for sure. We're going to be talking about John Carpenter's classic, The Thing, today.
With Kurt Russell.
Yeah, with Kurt Russell. Very important that Kurt Russell is in it.
As promised.
Yeah. I love The Thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good movie.
Kurt, listen, most of the movie I was like, God damn, Kurt Russell's hot.
Yeah. Wow.
That's my biggest surface level take. is holy hell, what a hot man.
Well, there's so much to talk about here. Keith David. Sorry, I was doing a little googly. I was trying to remember. I believe, yeah, I was like, it is Keith David, yes. Just amazing also in this. And of course, everything about this is classic. But so the bit here is just Neo has not seen an awful lot of John Carpenter material, really. Like, what of the man do you know?
So I know, I've seen Escape from New York.
Okay.
Which also has sexy Kurt Russell.
So the selling point, I think, for Neo is a lot more Kurt Russell and a lot less John Carpenter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I love John Carpenter.
Well, he's classic. I've heard about him. One of my favorite musicians, Carpenter Brutt's whole bit is he just makes John Carpenter music.
I mean, it's literally Carpenter Brutt.
Yeah.
It's literally in the title. So the funny thing, I guess, first off the bat, is John Carpenter and I have a very brief sordid past. See, I met Matthew Lillard once at a convention. You'll remember Matthew Lillard as the guy from Scream. He was also in Scooby-Doo. He was Shaggy, that guy.
Oh, okay.
You know, I met him at
I haven't seen Scream, but I did see Scooby-Doo.
We will have to watch Scream for the podcast.
Scooby-Doo might be scarier than Scream.
Well, absolutely. Did you see the CG dog? Fuck.
I saw that way too young in the theaters because my parents thought it would be a kid's movie.
They were wrong.
They were incredibly
They were so wrong. It was directed by James Gunn, or written by James Gunn, rather. But anyway, point being, what was I talking? I met Matthew Lillard at a convention. Yes. Matthew Lillard told me at this convention that John Carpenter was dead. He was like, John Carpenter died. And I was like, what? And he was like, it was so sad, isn't it? And I was like, looks at phone, goes to John Carpenter's Twitter, sees that he tweeted an hour ago. And I was like, did he die like an hour ago, dog? And he was like, no, it was like a couple of months ago. And I was like, shows Matthew Lillard my phone. Hey, dog, he tweeted an hour ago. And he goes, well, they're not telling the public yet. And I was like, I guess I'll keep my eyes and ears peeled on that one. And it's been years, and John Carpenter remains alive. Alive and well, Matthew Lillard, you fucking liar. I'm pretty sure he was confused with Wes Craven, who he worked with on Scream and who did, in fact, die. But he didn't know the fucking difference between John Carpenter and Wes Craven.
I'm assuming he was on a lot of drugs.
If he wasn't, I would have been surprised. I was on a lot of drugs. So, but yet lucid enough to know this. So
he lives.
What the fuck? He lives.
He lives.
He lives. John, the man, he lives. So I love John Carpenter. Me and John go back. John's a funny man in that he started off kind of doing horror stuff. He also was really interested in sci-fi stuff, but primarily he was interested in Westerns. Mm-hmm. And he just never really went into that because there wasn't an awful lot of money in Westerns. There was a lot more money in horror, a lot more money in sci-fi. Genre stuff made a lot more sense for him. So he ended up going into a lot of that. And then once he actually got established and was able to do stuff, he was like, all right, I'm going to make my manly man Westerns, but I have to make it appealing for the nowadays kind of crowd. So Escape from New York, right? It's a Western in pacing and everything.
It's like a neo-Western.
Yeah, it's a neo-Western, but it's like cyberpunk.
Yeah.
You know, to appeal to the kiddies.
Well, the crossover between like Westerns and cyberpunk is really, really great and big. But we don't have time to talk about that because I can go on about that for
lordy.
hours.
But John Carpenter is like kind of one of the pioneers of that vibe, I think. And it comes solely from this whole, I like Westerns, but I have to make sci-fi shit. So I'm going to make my sci-fi shit like my Westerns. So then you get to The Thing, and The Thing is just the perfect example of this. It is a Western, but it's a sci-fi movie. It's literally which one of them is the bad guy.
It's a snow Western.
Yeah, it's literally who is the bad guy.
Well, he got that from Tarantino's The Hateful Eight, right?
The Thing is based on The Hateful Eight.
Yeah. Seems right.
Yeah. No, The Thing is a remake of an even earlier version of the same story, but I think ultimately the story was originally like the idea was sort of, now I could be wrong on this, but I'm pretty sure the bit is who's the communist amongst us? We can't tell who the communist is. And then they go in secret little rooms and they tell each other these things and they spread their little communist ideas. I'm the communist. And then they're like, fuck, we have to blow up this whole base to stop the spread of communism. And so, like, I think while that might have been the original trappings, I don't necessarily think that John Carpenter really intended to do that with it. Maybe he did. But I think moreover than that, he's a fairly socially conscious man in his movies. He makes fairly socially conscious films. And I think this one, more than anything, is about this weird American paranoia that we have about things like communism,
Right.
More than anything else. And I suppose we'll get into that. But more than that, it's interesting, I think, that John Carpenter did this remake with the express purpose of kind of retooling it to be about the American paranoia that the original film sort of was about. And yeah, he's kind of known for doing that. He's weirdly in touch with meta-narrative, John Carpenter. It seems like he's done some acid in his day. Do you believe this is true?
From his like Bug Eyes and Escape from New York, yes.
Okay, fair. So John Carpenter's given the ability to do whatever he wants, and he's like, okay, I'm gonna do sci-fi action, but I need my leading man. And so you get your like Bruce Campbell on like the Sam Raimi side, and there's like a lot of like 80s action guys that are kind of like schlocky and B, but Kurt Russell is one that kind of, he blooms out of this, and then he goes on to have like a completely like, I don't know, he had a huge career.
And he's aged like fine wine.
Yes, he has. I mean,
he is dare I say, just as attractive in like Bone Tomahawk. Like
he's surprisingly fine.
He morphed into like sexy Hulk to daddy.
Yeah. Now, I've heard that he's a conservative, but but I mean,
stop.
But I mean, like,
info hazard,
don't tell. But I mean, look at him. How could he not be, And but there's that weird brand of like weird Hollywood conservatism where they more hate liberals than anything, and they're really bad at explaining like what their views are.
I can get on.
Who doesn't hate a liberal?
I can get on that. Like,
right, exactly. But like, I don't know. I think that annoyed with Hollywood liberalism isn't necessarily conservatism, but it's hard to say, and I don't know the man personally.
Well, we haven't done any research on this. So
no.
If he said something like real spicy on Twitter, we don't know about it. We're not trying to support him or his ideals at all. I'm running some PR bullshit.
Catboy is terrified of getting canceled on Twitter for the Thing episode, but he didn't mind he didn't mind doing, hi everyone, I did Cannibal Holocaust on acid, and he didn't mind get this fag out of here and Phantom of the Paradise. Why can't we get all right.
Now that we got that out of our systems.
Yes. So The Thing. The episode, the podcast that we do, this one that we're doing right now, it's called Your Take is Excrement. And the bit with it is that we have to have takes. So I have to now ask the Catboy, what are their takes?
Well, before we do takes, we got to do the summary.
Oh, well, I guess that's right. Well, you do the summary.
Yeah. As normal. I always do this on.
Go, Catboy, go.
All right, so the thing starts with Norwegians shooting at a dog, which made me really bummed out when we first watched it.
Yeah.
I was literally like, "Oh, I hope that dog's okay," because it starts with like the dog running through the snow. I was like, "Oh, I hope nothing bad happens to that
Oh no,
dog."
the pupper.
Oh no, what a good little boy.
See, that's John Carpenter getting his hooks in you right there.
And then Norwegians show up in a helicopter to shoot the shit out of this dog. And they fuck up and can't hit the dog. And then they crash their helicopter and blow up. 'Cause I think they're trying to throw a grenade at the dog.
Yes.
And then one of the Norwegians is like, "I'm going to shoot this dog." And then the Americans are like, "Why are you trying to shoot the dog?" And he's being erratic and pointing guns. So the Americans gun him down, as we do. And they take this poor pupper in. And it turns out that this poor little pupper is an alien monstrosity, and in short order, it kills and absorbs all the other dogs, and then starts to kill and transform into people. So the bit is it can be a perfect replica of anything it gets its like little alien hands on for a little bit.
Right. And so I think there's two elements at play here. Number one is that there's like this tangible, literal problem, which is like it's harrowing and horrifying to watch everything melt and congeal with the same matter into different things. That's kind of horrifying and stark. It's like body horror plus fear of the unknown. There's a lot of things in there. Uncanny stuff. And then on the other hand, there's like the entirely political, which is like this thing is a symbol for something lurking within our friend group that's toxic.
Right.
You know,
it'll spread.
Exactly. It's something toxic within our friend group that will spread.
And then the whole movie is they're trying to find out who's the alien. It's basically, and I hate that these words are coming out of my mouth, but it's Among Us.
It is Among Us.
And so,
fuck me.
So the whole bit is they're trying to figure out who it is, and people keep on dying.
Yeah.
And the only way to kill it is to burn it alive, which is
right.
And so this research base in Antarctica randomly has like 6 flamethrowers.
Right. And thank God for that.
For a good part of the movie, it's just Kurt Russell and Keith David running around with fucking flamethrowers.
Like you what you would want.
Yeah, it's ideal.
Ideal, truly. And Wilford Brimley is also in it. He has a noose in his room. It's kind of funny. We need to continue explaining the plot of the film.
They do all these things to try to find out what the alien is. It ultimately just keeps on foiling them, and they keep on burning people alive for being aliens. And then the movie ends with them blowing up the base and the alien spaceship. And Kurt Russell and Keith David make it out alive, and so they sit there, and they're like, "We're gonna take a nap and then kill each other," and then the movie ends.
Right, and so the bit is that like there they are at the end, and they can't trust each other, even though they both are pretty much certain that they're not
the thing.
They still can't.
Yeah, they have to be sure.
They have to be sure.
Well, and part of the whole dynamic is like Keith David and Kurt Russell have been butting heads the whole movie.
Right.
And they finally get along, and they have to kill each other.
Right. And the other thing is like them having to do all this for the good of humanity. Mm-hmm. Like they're going to have to die and kill each other and destroy all of this stuff for the good of humanity, because if this thing touches humanity at all, it's like fucked.
It's over.
Right. So at the beginning of the movie, we see them like shooting a dog, and at the end of the movie, we're like, oh, we completely understand why the guy was shooting the dog. Which is spicy to make me want a dog to be dead.
I know.
So it's funny sitting next to you and you going, oh no, the pupper.
The pupper.
And I'm watching the movie going, yeah, get that fucking pupper. And
Gun him
I
down.
know they don't get it, but I'm like, damn, they could have very easily stopped this whole thing if they would have just let that Norwegian shoot that goddamn dog.
Yeah.
So that is my biggest take, is just like, damn, those Americans should have let them shoot that goddamn dog.
Yeah, well, so something you said earlier about the original story being about communism, it's actually kind of thinking on that. It's a lot of what the alien does is reminiscent of communism, or is reminiscent of what people are scared of communism think communism is, because it's taking all this individual stuff and it's making it part of this collective.
Right. It's collectivizing the individual.
Yeah, and that's what like America as a culture is most terrified of, is losing any aspect of individuality.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter if that will drastically improve their existence, but
right. Embracing collectivism is something they're terrified of.
Yeah, and it's just like it's like what my political science teacher said in college about like Texas specifically. Is this like rugged individualism? It's
right,
like the defining trait of, in specific, Texas and in general America.
Right.
And
well, and like rugged individualism is such a Western trope.
Mm-hmm.
It's like such a Western thing. And it embodies exactly why Kurt Russell is like the perfect Western character.
Exactly.
Too. 'Cause he's like the perfect individual. Like, you can't make him a collective. You can't turn him into soup.
Look at that beard.
Yeah, you can't melt that man into... He's not like the rest of us. Like he's better than us.
Whenever he folds his arms and like looks down over his nose.
Exactly.
Like,
it makes me
you
want...
can't tame him.
Yeah.
He's the power top of all power tops.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about a man who, if anybody on Earth had two cocks, I bet it would be him, you know? And so and that's just where I'm at with Kurt Russell. And so, I don't know. Like, rugged individualism turning into collectivism is a very, very good point.
Mm-hmm.
It's sort of the cowboy Western Texas thing.
Right.
All of it comes together.
Yeah.
Ah, beautiful.
Well, and so then the other like obvious takeaway from the movie right now in our times is it's a coronavirus movie.
A little bit.
Like, because the whole movie is you have all your friends and you care about them, but they might fucking kill you.
So they got to get in their fucking room, and if they come out, you got to shoot them. You got to
gun them down.
Yeah.
And it's like this weird, like, not arms race, but like this weird like.
What's wrong, Mom? Why are you scared of the test, Mom?
Yeah.
Why are you so scared of it, Mom? Give me your blood, Mom.
Yeah, like get the vaccine.
Get the vaccine. Why won't you get it?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like, well, and it's like when it first happened, like before we had mask mandates, like when it was all just news stories.
Yeah.
You know, I was in Costco, and I get really, really bad allergies, and I like get bronchitis like yearly. So
right.
I had a cough. And I was coughing in Costco, and literally, because you know the aisles at Costco are like shoulder height.
Yeah.
So I was coughing, and literally everybody in the store, like 200 fucking people, just staring at me. I'm in the middle of the store buying fucking like cheese puffs, coughing, and everyone is like, "Get the flamethrower."
Oh my god.
Get the flamethrower, get it, and let's drag
Quarantine.
him out and burn him alive.
Quarantine this one.
Yeah. So
yeah,
it's like, and that's like, it's the same exact fucking vibe.
That's the vibe
of like, oh, you coughed?
Right, exactly.
Where were you 20 minutes ago? Were you with your buddy? Like,
right. Well, and like the first time we see Wilford Brimley, he's like, God damn it, we're all gonna fucking die. We all have to isolate. We can't talk to each other. This is super fucked. We have to fucking blow everything up.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey, calm down. Go isolate yourself. So they isolate him. And then they leave him for a little while. They come back to him, and he's got a noose hanging in his room.
Yeah.
And it's just like the big COVID mood is like, you leave somebody in the snow for long enough without communication.
Well,
eventually, they're just going to be like, I could hang myself.
Well, they come back, and he's like, I'm better now. You can let me out. I'm not going to do anything drastic. And there's just a fucking noose hanging in the shot.
They're like, yeah, I think he's going to... I don't think he's an alien. I don't think the alien's killing itself.
The whole bit is he was the alien.
But yes, that's the fucked up bit. So, I don't know. it's kind of weird how it manifests in that ideological way. But also, I mean, like enough cannot be said about how the movie is like visceral and disgusting and grody and nasty.
The special effects are just above and beyond.
Yeah, well, and I mean, the thing that I would probably say is that it's kind of an iconic kind of special effect where it's like you've seen this before without having to see this movie.
Right.
Knowing that it originated here is obligatory.
Well,
You've watched Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, there's this shot that where after he like they like kill someone or they like burn someone alive and the head pops off.
Right.
And, like grows legs and they fucking gun it down.
Yeah.
Like that shot is in every fucking adult cartoon ever.
Pretty much.
It's in Rick and Morty. It's in Solar Opposites. If you haven't seen Netflix's Inside Job,
oh yeah,
there's a JFK walking head in Inside Job.
Oh yeah, that's right. I think that's where I got this idea too. I think we were watching that, and I was like, we need to watch fucking that thing.
Yeah,
and then we just turned it on immediately after.
So like, it's this weird kind of like body horror.
Yeah,
and you know what? Out of everything in horror, like the one part of horror I really enjoy is like cyberpunk body horror. Mm-hmm. Like,
well, fuck me. I got some shit to show you then.
Well,
damn.
It's like I haven't actually seen Akira, but you know the Akira bit.
Come on now.
We'll have to do that at some point.
We will.
But yeah, so it's like I loved all of the fucking special effects. It's just so gross and like squishy and
well, it's very
great.
it's very we're very used to CG.
Yeah.
These days. So you see this and it actually sells. You're like, oh fuck, that doesn't look like a special effect. That genuinely looks like that person's fucked up. It's kind of like we were also casually watching The Toxic Avenger the other day, and there's the part where the kid gets his head hit by the car, and like they're taking Polaroids of it, and it genuinely looks real. Like it looks like it's a real kid got his head squished, and and you're like, fuck, and it's that kind of gore where you're just like, fuck, like that's real, man.
Yeah.
And that's pretty rare in a time where we're very, very used to CG. Matter of fact, there's a remake. You don't know about this, but there's a remake of this movie, The Thing. I know.
What?
That where they did the monster in CG.
Was it bad?
Yes.
I'm shocked.
Yeah, apparently they tried to update the special effects, and they got like, I want to say it was like Greg Nicotero or somebody really, really cool to do the effects, and they put like all this care and time into it, and then they showed the studio, and the studio didn't like it, and they were like, CG over the whole fucking movie.
But The Thing is perfect. Why would
you
remake
would you fucking do that? Like, well, and first off, why would you do that? Number one, and number two, The Thing notably wasn't a success. It was a pretty big failure for John Carpenter at the time. Yeah. Isn't that insane?
I guess people have bad taste.
Well, The Shining was also kind of a failure when it came out. People usually aren't ready for shit like this.
Well, listen, I'm finding people bullying Kubrick.
Kubrick can take it. Kubrick's a little bitch boy.
Kubrick needs to have his ego knocked down so many pegs.
Oh yeah,
we need
every
to
opportunity.
dig up his decrepit, decayed corpse and knock his ego down a couple pegs.
Oh yeah, smash it with a hammer.
He was British, right?
Yes,
of course he was.
Of course he fucking was. God damn it. So yeah, the thing is fucking great, and I love it a lot, and it's very, very good. And I am now currently realizing that we are coming up on about halfway, about 30 minutes, and I'm noticing that we have pretty much exhausted our takes.
Well, see, and that's like, The Thing is so good that like you can't really have any takes about it other than, well, hot damn, that was good.
Yeah, and so the good news is I came prepared. I knew this was going to happen people at home. I did.
Oh?
I had a feeling because, like, ultimately, there's only a few things you can really say about something as classic and good as The Thing. We love the effects. We think that the messaging is neat and cool. It's also interesting to debate whether or not it's about, like, is it a left wing or right wing? But ultimately, it's true. Like, it's something true about Americans and humans and our relationship with the other world.
And how we interact with isolation. And
Exactly. But the thing we promised last time, God damn it, the thing we promised last time was we were going to talk about Kurt Russell.
Kurt motherfucking Russell.
Primarily. And
Yes.
so I figured we would do the first half of this podcast, The Thing, we would kind of go over our miniature takes. And then for the second half, we're just going to do a little Bone Tomahawk.
Little Bone Tomahawk.
Yeah, what do you think?
The movie's not problematic whatsoever.
Not at all. So we're gonna do a teensy little breaky poo, and we're gonna do a little plug for our drum roll Patreon. That's right, gays. We got one. We got one for you.
Hell yeah.
Just for you.
For you and for me.
Yeah. So we're
For
gonna.
you to help me.
Well, fuck. I guess we're doing the ad right now. I was gonna say we need to do a break to do the ad, but now we're just doing it.
Now we're
so
just doing the ad.
hello and welcome to the ad. You've listened to our podcast.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
I would listen to this.
I do
generally.
listen to this.
Yeah, I mean, you do. You have to. You edit it. So there it is.
But I have a fun time doing it because I'm like, wow, that was fun. That
Yeah.
was a good conversation.
Yeah, you know, it's a pleasant time. So
Yeah.
if you have a pleasant time, then throw us a couple bucks on Patreon.
Yeah.
We opened it up. And we're thinking about doing this other thing, and we're going to talk about it now and just mention it. Leave a comment. Say something on Twitter. I don't know. We're all on
Yeah,
Twitter.
at me.
We want to do a thing where it's like, if you want your ad in the middle of the podcast, we'll have like a Patreon tier. You can pledge
Listen.
and we'll do an ad.
We may be
For you.
communists, but May has developed a crippling addiction to nerds ropes.
I need those nerds
We're running
ropes,
out of
homie.
resources to just cram nerds ropes into May. So
Stuff them in my
so
fucking
while-
pie
while
hole
we are
and cake
communists,
hole.
we're willing to shill out to get May some nerds ropes.
Right. So if you want an ad in the middle of this son of a bitch, or just a shout out or something like that, we're thinking about doing like a $50 or something $75 tier or
we'll
something
figure it out.
crazy.
Something like that.
We don't know, but anyway, we figured we'd mention it now. But anyway, so
Anywho.
head on over to the Patreon. We'll have a link somewhere.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we're getting there. But anyway, so
You'll find us, or we'll find you.
Oh, okay. So today on Your Take is Excrement, we're going to be talking about Bone Tomahawk, which is a film directed by Kurt Russell, starring Patrick Stewart and
Kurt Russell.
I'm sorry, S. Craig Zoller directed this, and Kurt Russell is in the
Yeah.
movie, and Patrick Wilson is also in the movie.
I was thinking hard on where you got Patrick Stewart from.
I was trying to just grab names from my brain just to be annoying, and Patrick Stewart just was like, yes, he's the wrongest person for this. So Bone Tomahawk, a Western, neo-Western, violent neo-Western,
Oh, so violent.
and problematic,
Very problematic.
questionably problematic, enjoyable,
Yes.
great. Neo, tell the people what the
So,
fuck Bone Tomahawk's
The
bit
plot of Bone Tomahawk is they're troglodytes. And
in them their caves,
In the
they
caves.
they them hills.
they them hills. And so the bad part of the movie is troglodytes are Native Americans who are mutated to have like superhuman strength and weird whistles in their throats. And how they try to get away from this being really fucking problematic is they have a Native American dude come and explain how the
A
troglodytes...
very literal native
Yeah,
person.
yeah, he shows up and he's like, how? I'm here to explain how the troglodytes are racist.
Yeah, and you're just like, geez,
It's
dude, like
he's
please
they, he's like,
don't.
they aren't native, they're monsters. They're not men anymore, so you can't be racist. because they're monsters, and it's like,
Right.
oh my god. But so
it's a whole brain trip.
like going aside, like moving right on past that, the movie's about this lady who gets kidnapped and a sheriff who gets kidnapped by the troglodytes, and Kurt Russell has to wrangle up a posse to ride down the troglodytes and rescue the white woman.
Yeah, so basically, if you've ever seen Birth of a Nation,
Yeah, and well, so the whole bit is like Kurt Russell is like in the movie is like, you know, cool with Native Americans and stuff, but another character's whole bit is, boy, does he love killing Native Americans.
yeah, and he has no gripe with doing that.
No.
He loves it. He's happy he's doing it, and he's vibing.
And
He loves it.
He just, it makes him
Makes him hard in his
makes him hard.
pantaloons.
So, they gather this posse, including an incredibly racist man.
And an old man who's kind of an idiot.
Yeah, and like old boomer.
And then Patrick Wilson, whose leg is broken.
Whose leg is broken. So they're riding into the hills to try to find the troglodytes.
Them hills.
Them hills. So they can rescue the poor white woman from the native troglodyte.
Right, which does sound an awful lot like Birth of a Nation now that I think about it. Only they're not the KKK, they're something else entirely. A posse.
Am I not allowed to like this movie anymore?
I don't know. See, this is my question, and I think that's what we're going to end up talking about here.
Are we allowed to like it because of our heritage?
Well, yeah. So a bit here is that Neo and I are both of Native heritage, and like pretty strong Native heritage, especially like, god damn, Neo, you very much look it. Like, and I am from Oklahoma. I am from the Chickasaw tribe, and
I'm from the Cherokee tribe.
oh, well, how about
look
that?
at that.
You know, you actually, that makes a lot of
Yeah.
sense. Anyway, so now that we've said that, does that mean that we're allowed to like it, or does that mean that we have to fucking hate it?
Well,
This movie is oppressing our people, Neo.
but Kurt Russell's so hot.
I fucking know, and he's hot, and
he's like old man daddy hot.
well, and he gets his shit fucking ended.
He gets his shit ran.
He has a bad day.
Well, so this posse of motherfucking racists and an idiot
Right.
roll
Come
up
rolling in.
and they get their shit wrecked.
Right. Which is to be honest, the thing about it is, if the movie is racist, and if the movie is bad or something like that, the movie has this awkward awareness
Right.
where they go rolling in there, these white guys, and they're like, yeah, we're going to kill these native people, these stupid native people, immediately get their shit wrecked.
Yeah, well, so the bit is one guy's a broken leg, so he's like lagging behind because he can't keep up with everyone without broken legs. So they all go in ahead of him, and the idiot, Kurt Russell, and the racist just get their shit ran.
Right.
And so then he has to go on a one-man adventure to save his wife.
Right.
So
it's a little bit different of a vibe at that point. And the other thing is, like, you know, so it's interesting that we're talking about this because we've also talked about Cannibal Holocaust, a similar film with a similar vibe.
yeah,
And it's kind of the same sort of deal where at the end it's like, okay, I know that these aren't native people, these are troglodytes, but hear me out here now.
yeah.
They kind of are native people, homie.
Well, it's like,
And-
so they have the scene with the native guy, and he's like, oh, these aren't natives, they're troglodytes, they're monsters. But then they embody all these like racist stereotypes of Native
Exactly.
Americans, and it's like, huh.
It's kind of like okay, guys, now I want to make a movie that's really racist, but I know better than to be blatant about it.
Yeah.
So we're going to say the loud part really quietly.
really as quietly as possible. Well, it would be like a movie in Africa where it's like oh, they're not Africans, they're monsters, and it's just like the most racist like
Right, exactly.
fucking depiction of a black person. It's like, that's a monster, and it's like, but that's racist.
Right,
Like,
exactly.
That doesn't make it less racist. That makes it more racist.
Exactly.
It would like legitimately probably be less racist for them to be like, be like, yeah, this tribe, they're dicks. They kidnapped your people. Like, I'm gonna help you get them.
Yeah, I know that tribe. Those people are assholes.
They're assholes.
Like they're imperialist fucks.
Yeah, let me help you.
Right,
Like,
exactly.
That would be so much less racist if they just literally had Native Americans as the bad guys,
right?
Instead of pretending that they're not.
Right. Now, understand that the lead singer, or I'm sorry, the director of this is the lead singer of a doom metal band. So
wait, really?
Yes.
Wow. That explains something.
It explains something.
Explains the tone.
Yeah, the tone, which is basically people get their shit killed bad.
Someone gets like bisected and the camera just focuses on it as they're just like cutting him in half, like ass to head.
And it's beautiful.
If I remember correctly, like a turd falls out. I have this memory of like a little nugget falling out as I
think
bisecting
that was his cock, honey. I think
What's
that's probably
difference?
his. At that point, right? It's all shit at that point. Wow. Yes.
Yeah.
So there's a total bisection, and oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
And then how does Kurt Russell they throw a cask in the fire and then like cut him open and shove it into his chest cavity?
Yeah.
The
Spicy.
The racist like blows himself up with dynamite, if I remember correctly.
He does.
Yeah,
which
he's
is
like,
funny.
they ain't gonna get my body.
Yeah, he's like, leave me here. I will kill as many as I can. And then he dies like a bitch.
He doesn't, right?
No, he gets a tomahawk in the face.
Yeah, and they run away.
Yeah, like pathetic.
Yeah.
Well, but see, that's the thing, right? Is the movie racist? Or is the movie aware? But is the movie aware and racist? Or is the movie like weird Tarantinoing the whole thing where it's like doing the thing while also trying to comment on it?
I think it's Tarantino in the thing, but it's like it's fucking Hollywood liberalism where it's like some shitty fucking white dude who doesn't know anything about what he's talking about trying to tell me about something, and it's like, shut the fuck up, Mzungu, like shove off.
Well, so S. Craig Zoller has another movie called Brawl in Cell Block 99, and we should watch it for the podcast, but I'm going to quickly, very briefly tell you the plot of it so that you can hear what other shit he's been up to.
Right.
So it's a prison movie. Guy is a white guy, loses his job, works with a Mexican gang, dealing drugs, doing drug stuff. The Mexican gang is crazy. He's like, I don't want to work with these crazy people. Something goes south. The Mexican gang really wants to shoot up the cops, but Bradley's like, I respect the cops in this town, so I'm gonna kill the people I came with. He goes to jail because he shot the people he was working with to protect the police from the shootout. And so they send him to prison, and then a gang kidnaps his wife and is like, we're going to cut off the arms and legs of your baby while it's in her womb. If you don't, go to the deepest, darkest pit of the prison and beat the shit out of this one prisoner.
So Bone Tomahawk is a movie you really, really like.
Yeah.
Don't deny it. But when you're pitching it to me, you're like, I have a Western I want to show you. And I went, great. I like neo-Westerns. I like old Westerns.
Yeah.
I don't like the shitty bad racist Westerns, which to be fair is a lot of them. But I like a good Western.
Yeah.
I like a good neo-Western. And so I'm like, hell yeah, I like Westerns. And May's like, it's called Bone Tomahawk. And my immediate thought was, that sounds racist as fuck. Like, wait, a Western about people who use bones to make tomahawks. That sounds bad. I don't like how that sounds.
Yeah.
So, like, even, it's just like from...
And the weird thing is just aesthetically, it immediately grabs you.
Yeah.
The movie starts and you're immediately hooked. The dialogue is spicy and you're like, huh. It comes across like dialogue that wasn't the first pass, the second pass, or the third pass, but like the 12th or 13th look at it, and the person had an ironic
Right. Well,
like bent to the way they even looked at the dialogue at that point.
Like Kurt Russell's in it, and he's great, and I love him, and I'm
Right. But he has so much to do on screen.
He has so much to do on screen. But no, what I'm saying is he wasn't my favorite character.
Right.
Unfortunately, and I don't know why, my favorite character is the shitty racist.
Well, because he's
suave and collected and like.
But he's also weirdly pathetic.
Yeah.
And he's also just kind of an asshole.
Yeah, but in the way that's like, I like that. But so there's like my favorite scene in the movie is there's a bit where they're going down to camp and he's setting up this like string of bells, which is like a thing people do in D&D. So that's like why I was immediately was like, holy shit, that's awesome.
As Craig Zoller has played D&D in his life.
So he set up this string of bells and he's like, all right, now if you hear the bells, you shoot, because it's either a coyote or someone coming to do us harm, because no one comes this close without declaring their intentions unless they're aiming to do harm. And so then there's like a bit later where they're all sleeping and you hear a jingle and everyone's trying to grab their gun and he immediately like sits up and just bam, 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 coyote, and then lies back down.
Well, and the
like,
fucked up thing is like, this feels like a D&D or Deadlands campaign.
Yes,
really,
yeah.
when you really look at it, it feels like 4 people did a D&D campaign.
It's a D&D game, and it reinforces the core, the number one rule, the core rule of D&D, and that's don't fucking split the party.
Yeah. Weird.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah, this, like, literally, you could do this in Deadlands.
Yeah. Well, and what the fuck? Like, I almost want to throw $10 in the ring here and say it fucking was.
Yeah.
Like, at some point, this was that, and then he was like, I've got an idea for a book.
For those of you who don't know, Deadlands is a variation on the Savage World RPG system.
Right.
Well, in Deadlands, as a system of Savage Worlds, has always been really horrifically racist.
Yes.
Because our RPGs in the 90s were spicy.
Spicy as fuck.
Listen, I play Shadowrun. It's so much worse. But no, yeah. So it's like the fact that the racist movie from like racist Western stereotypes probably came from a from a Deadlands game. It just
unsurprising. It fits. It fucking fits. Well, and so yeah, I don't know. It's like if I had gripes, and I'm going to now say them. Watching The Thing and watching this, right? The Thing has this like eye for specific things. It's just like got this like this material reality to it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just unforgettable. All of it. Like pretty much every scene and shot of The Thing is just completely unforgettable.
Well, and like every scene when they do the weird, gross prosthetic,
right?
Or like the effects is like seared into my brain in the best way possible. It's like a holy shit, that's awesome.
Exactly. Well, and Bone Tomahawk has a couple of good like little bits, but for the most part, the way it looks isn't its significant thing. It looks a little on the cheap side. A lot of the times they're just laying on the dirt.
Right.
And that's fine. I mean, it's very well written. It's very eloquent. But the funny thing about it is it's extremely cheap. And when you really look into it, I think it was like dirt cheap, like no money whatsoever, just like hardly anything. And everybody who was working in it, you know, Richard Jenkins, Patrick Wilson, fucking Kurt Russell, everybody who's in this worked pretty much at their SAG minimums to make it as cheap as possible.
I want you to guess how much money this took to make.
I'm going to throw $5 million in there.
5 million?
Yeah.
$1.8 million.
1.8. See, and so if it looks a little cheap at 1.8 million, okay, Google the Hateful Eight budget. Let's see what that is.
Full 8.
For comparison, the Hateful Eight was shot on 70 millimeter Technicolor, the ultra wide. Like, so it was. They invented a camera to shoot.
So
on
I want you to guess.
I'm gonna guess 115 million.
44 to 62 million.
Yeah, I'm gonna call bullshit, but we'll go with that. We'll say it was that. But still, like, you know, that sounds about. But compare, right? Compare the difference of you know, literally 30-40 million dollars extra on screen. And also, you said $1.5 million or $1.8 million?
$1.8 million.
Yeah, $1.8 million. I mean, like, for comparison, I think The Witch was made for like $1 million or $2 million. And that's like a bottle movie, and this is not a bottle movie. Like, there are actual locations in this. They're shooting in daylight. There's a lot of good shit in this. There's a lot of stunts. It's pretty solid for 1.8. That's nuts. Like, that's seriously cheaper than anything else. So I can't really fault it for not having the greatest cinematic eye. And I think that sometimes the coloring is a little much. Sometimes it's like, welcome to the old saloon. Yeah. You know, it's kind of got that vibe to it. But at the end of the day, I think it's a decent D&D quest turned movie.
With Kurt Russell.
And I can't say this enough. I like a movie that's really fucking gruesome. And it's rare that a movie gets this gruesome.
Oh, it gets
especially a Western.
Gruesome. Yeah.
And I love that.
Well, because like the traditional Westerns, it's like, you know, with all the fucking Hays Code shit, and it's like,
exactly.
you better not show like legitimate violence.
Yeah, exactly. You can't do that shit. But here, it's like, finally a Western that can just do what it wants. And I think that that's what Tarantino wanted to do too.
Right.
Or it's just, here's a Western that can just do what it wants. That's just genuinely honest. And so I almost like that movement more than I like this movie. Does that make sense?
Well, so part of why I like this movie is I have a simple, like, little lizard brain where you just have like 4 dudes together on the dusty trail in like cowboy hats.
Sweet wholesome wife guys on the lonesome trail, like trying to save a wife with their cowboy hats and their little strings of bells. I just like it. Yeah, it's sweet.
I like cowboy stuff. So, you know, like,
yeah, it's sweet. I like to play pretend.
I want to be a cowboy.
Yeah, and so I don't know. It's just like, it's got this like dumb, stupid charm to it too.
Yeah.
It's got this horror element to it. It's spicy. I like that. It's just appealing overall, and I cannot say enough for Kurt Russell and his mustache. I think the other thing is everybody's performances are fabulous, and they genuinely give it their all, which is crazy given that the movie was made for 1.8 and it's got Kurt Russell in it.
Well, I wonder almost if it's like an underground, like, Hollywood
cabal
ring.
Yeah,
just like, it's like Kurt Russell's in a basement, like, it's like, they can't see me. And he just played Deadlands with the director.
this is all his D&D campaign.
Like, all right, my cowboy is gonna pull out his flask and poison it. I'm gonna roll for that.
Oh,
right,
fuck.
All right, what's the threshold? All right, here we go. Hey!
Kills 2, wounds 1. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. You know you're going to die from this, right, Kurt? I don't care.
God damn it.
I did good.
At least I got him. I did as good as I could. You know, so I don't know. I'm just, my thing is I'm used to Westerns being racist.
Yeah.
I'm used to Westerns being racist. I'm used to them being problematic, and I'm used to them sucking dick, just generally. So the Thing, while it may potentially be about how we need to stop the spread of communism or something horrible, it's also just like a really good paranoid Western. So all of those expectations of what a Western is going to be are right there, right in the forefront. And I'm just like, boom, got it. Bone Tomahawk, objectively probably racist, but still, with all of that expectation in there, it does the thing I want. It's gruesome, crazy, weird. It's very well performed. Everyone took it really seriously. I cannot stress enough that I love Richard Jenkins, he's the silly old man in this. He's fabulous. I love him.
Silly
He's great.
old wife guy.
Yeah, silly old wife guy, and also just wholesome wife guy movie.
Yeah,
you know,
because you have the hot wife guy, you have the silly wife guy.
Yeah,
you have the racist wife guy, and you have the crippled wife guy.
Right,
and that's your cast.
So what I want to call it a neo western, but I almost also want to call it a neo exploitation. Like, you know, like some kind of new exploitation.
Right.
It's like, you know, it's still racist, but this time they're wife guys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like,
right.
It's like, what if we use the shitty racist model to explore these ideas of like, what is masculinity, and it's over 40 look like, you know what I mean? Like, and they're also awkwardly kind of they're men at different stages of their lives and different paths.
Like, they're all just really wholesome. I also have this weakness for like wholesome dude movies where it's
yeah, for sure,
like because
like A Knight's Tale.
Yeah, and there's like an aspect of Bone Tomahawk where they're taking care of the guy with the broken leg.
Yeah,
so there's this thing where he has these
camaraderie
bags. Yeah, and they're like hey, we're gonna split up your load between the three of us because you can't handle it.
Yeah, exactly.
And this is like yeah, we're just, you know,
you're gonna spill from the saddle. I'm trying to prevent that accident.
Yeah, so it's just this like yeah, well, us four dudes, we may have disagreements, but we got each other.
Yeah, but at least we got each other.
Because we all got to go find his wife.
Exactly. And it is all, we got to go find O'Dwyer's wife.
Yeah.
Like, and that is the whole, like, capital P point. Like,
we got to find Mrs. O'Dwyer.
That is all. And that's just hilarious.
Yeah, it's wholesome.
It's wholesome. Like,
but I wish it wasn't racist.
Yeah, I wish it wasn't Birth of a Nation, but if it, you know, but at least like there's not like they're going to rape her, they're going to.
Well,
I mean, there is a little bit of that,
is,
but
absolutely.
Well, and they also do that to their women, which is great, and they pepper that in there at the end, and also not racist at all. Definitely not at all. You know, they probably would do it. They probably would go that direction, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Let's just be real about that.
Listen, I mean, you're going to tell me that there's some naked cannibals who make tomahawks out of bones, and you're telling me that they're not going to rape people? Like, no. You're going to
you're right.
That they're raping this group of people, but they're going to draw the line at the white people?
Yeah. Come on. Right, exactly. Oh,
come on now.
Come on now. So, let us convene the final moments. The Thing, John Carpenter's legendary The Thing,
goes into the great shit pile.
Great shit pile. It's
no argument. Like if you disagree with us, please, I don't want to be associated with you. Stop.
Stop talking to me. Like, well, yeah, it's a spicy movie. There's the part where they got the paddles and they're putting the paddles on the guy's chest, and it's just like his hands just go directly into his chest, and he gets bit by the guy's like.
I read something on that the other day.
Yes.
Where to do that, they had a guy with no arms, and they gave him prosthetic arms, and so he stuck the arms in, and then actually like chomped and pulled the arms away because he didn't have any arms.
Oh wow!
So
oh my god! Well, thank God for that. It's like a Jodorowsky movie.
Yeah.
Oh, lordy. Yeah, great shit. Good shit, great shit. It's a slight, tiny, little, microscopic little recommendation for Escape from New York, too, in there.
Yeah.
Also good shit. Got to check it out. I mean, Halloween's a little past us at this point. John Carpenter's very much an October vibe. Like, he's got the spooky action movies, you know? So, we can kind of like, we're going to move past John Carpenter probably in the future and do a bunch of other shit. But we do really like John Carpenter in this house, and he's great shit. Bone Tomahawk. Where are we at, Neo?
I unfortunately enjoy it.
I unfortunately enjoy it too. But see, okay, so where are we at? We put Cannibal Holocaust in the good shit pile. We did. With a
big caveat.
Well, and so what if we do the same thing here?
Big caveat.
It's the same thing. We just throw it in the pile and we call it a big caveat.
It's racist.
Probably.
Well,
somebody out there is going to be like, no, it's not.
Well, all right. Dylan.
And we're going to be like, all right, Dylan.
All right, Dylan. Thanks for your opinion. I appreciate it.
We probably shouldn't be making movies at the potential Native Americans' expense, right? That's the bit.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
couldn't we have a Western where it's not at Native Americans' expense?
But it's this thing where it's like, why don't you just go take it to, like, literally just hire somebody to help you write a story that's not racist?
Yeah.
Like, it's like,
I mean, that would help.
spend, like, I guarantee you people will do it for fucking free.
Probably.
Like just.
But for $1.8 million, they were like, fuck.
Give someone like $200 and have them explain the cultural insensitivities of your.
They did
movie.
have a Native person like come in and they were like, "Hello,
But
I'd like to justify this film for all Native
He's the
people."
only person in the movie that doesn't act his little heart out. He's the only person who just shows up for the money. Like he obviously is like, God damn it.
I'm so fucking tired of doing this.
I'm tired of waiting fucking tables, and I need a paycheck, and I need acting credits.
Oh
but
my
damn,
God.
I don't want to do this.
Fucking bullshit. Alrighty. Well, thank you for listening, dear listener, my beauty, my love. We're going to be back rather soon with another podcast for you. We're trucking. We're gonna
Keep them rolling.
Weekly motherfucking things out here. Like, we're doing pretty good. We're also talking about potential guests.
Yeah.
We have Azzy. Azzy is my partner in both crime and life, and she would love to come on and perhaps talk about like Suspiria or a la carta or something that she really loves. And also we have a friend. We'll just give him a shout out. His name is Caden. He's from Night Crime is his YouTube channel, but he's kind of local to us. So we're probably going to have him on the podcast and talk about some gross shit one of these days. He's a kid. He's a good kid. Good kid. It's unfortunate that we're in such a mad city.
How many times are you going to make that joke?
I don't get to meet good kids very often that I get to say that joke about. So I get to make it, at least once. Anyway, thank you for listening, my dear, my loves. Support us on the Patreon. We're going to be working on that, and we're going to have a new episode for you soon. We're working on like weekly episodes. Like, this is fucking insane. It's not that hard. I mean, we might slow down if we run out of, like spicy titles constantly. I assume at some point we're going to be like, okay, we can't fucking watch a movie every goddamn week, especially after work gets overwhelming. But for some reason, things have been just working out right now.
Just trucking along.
Yeah. So you're getting weekly episodes until the foreseeable future. Yeah. So we'll see you next week with another episode. I love you.
Goodbye.
I've been May.
Oh, and I've been Neo.
Oh, yeah. Oh, fuck. With Twitter.
At Angstrom, at Nick Spheres, at Your Take Is X.
See you next week.
See you next week.
Bye.